Hi, this is Kathryn Raaker of the American Dream Business Roundtable, and we have over on my left Greg Noe, who is our co-host of the American Dream Business Roundtable, right?
Yes, thank you.
And we have our guest, Mark Dare of I-Marketing tonight. So let's talk a little bit about Mark and your relationship with Mark and my relationship with him, and then also what I-Marketing is all about.
That'd be great.
Okay, start.
Well, I've known Mark for about 6 years now or so, and I met him in a marketing meeting, and he has helped me in my business, and that's why I wanted to bring him on the show so he could share with the viewers here what it is that he does. You and I are familiar with those things.
Right.
But now, what about you? How far back do you go?
Actually, I think it was 2004 or 2005 when I met Mark, or maybe even earlier than that.
Somewhere around there.
Yeah, somewhere around there, because actually our camera woman's husband, Walter Luthi, before he passed, Walter and everybody knew Mark, and actually we were doing a television show with children.
Yes.
Kids Time. And so that's how I met him. And I had a different webmaster and web server, and we said, I can't work with this guy anymore. And I said, Mark, I need you so much to help me. And he's really changed my life. He's done such a wonderful job with all of my websites.
Thank you.
And now with my brand, and we're going to have another show as well. I haven't told you that yet, right?
Oh, wonderful.
So a cooking show, another cooking show out of Los Angeles. So I'm pretty excited about that. But let's talk about your business and how you started in web design and in the computer industry.
Well, actually, my father was actually taught by IBM, one of the first programmers taught by IBM in the Cincinnati area back in 1960, 61. So I kind of come by it naturally. I've been a custom software engineer for 37 years now.
Wow.
So I've done lots of custom software. In '97 is when we started I-Marketing, and it's I-MKTG.com.
Why that name?
It's domains are hard to come by, and I with the whole name spelled out was already taken. So I had to settle for MKTG. We've been in business for about 19 years doing websites. We've done hundreds and hundreds of websites, and we host all of them. We also are a Google certified partner, which means that we take like about 6 hours worth of tests every year with Google to prove that we know how to use Google's products in order to work and manipulate Google's stuff online.
Let's talk about that for a minute, because my understanding is that that certification is somewhat scarce. In the Cincinnati area, there are how many Google certified?
Well, for a long time, there was only about nine in total, yeah, and 4 of them worked at I-Marketing.
Wow.
Meaning for you?
Yes. I was one of them. Between the 4 of us, we actually now have almost 40 years of certification experience. Wow. Now, there's more now in the Cincinnati area. There's probably 30 or so in the Cincinnati area now. Okay. But
still to have 4
but that's
of them
only
in your
that's only
company.
Exploded in the last couple of years, really.
Right. So how many are there today, would you say?
It was around 30 or so, I think.
30 or so?
Yeah.
Wow.
But a lot of those are in the big companies, the YP.com and the large advertising agencies, which most of the small companies, which is what we serve, don't have access to. They just can't afford it. They don't want to mess with them.
Well, since he took over mine, my Google search is pretty high. I mean, seriously.
Well, and we're going to get into the details of that in a little bit. We're going to be talking, just so our viewers know, about all kinds of internet marketing. We're going to touch on each one of those areas. Some of them we're not going to get into in detail tonight. For example, the social media marketing and email marketing, we're going to reserve that for another of our friends who specializes in that. And so we'll touch on that and how some of these internet things work together. For example, it's not uncommon to have something on your website that will allow you to gather email addresses so that you can then send email messages out to people who are interested in whatever it is that you're doing. And so we'll talk about that aspect of it, and then later on in another episode, we'll talk about how the specifics of email marketing. But I wanted to get a little bit better idea about I-marketing and why it is special. And this is one of the reasons why I've moved all of my business over to Mark. In that, remember, some of you might remember last week we talked about pricing, and Mark has a unique approach to pricing for his services, and that's what really sold me on the idea of moving my websites, because I have probably, I don't know,
12 right now.
12 right now?
12
Different
websites?
websites?
Yes.
Well,
Wow.
I have probably 15 different businesses, but not all of them have websites. But okay, so share with us what it was.
The internet space is confusing for people. So everybody and their brother calls themselves an expert. So what we try to do is make it simple for them. We can handle everything from beginning to end with one company. We'll handle their domain name, the website, we even teach them how to make changes on their website, their email, all the support for their email, everything, so that they only have one place to point at if something goes wrong.
And you know what's really wild was he taught me WordPress. And remember
Yeah.
WordPress? And I was so against it for I don't know how long. But once you learn it, it's simple because
Yeah.
you can change it.
It's straightforward, yeah.
Straightforward.
But back to the pricing then, we needed, in the sales process, it became obvious early on that we need to be able to give a customer, a prospect, a price quick. Because if you get all the specs from them and go try to figure out how much it's going to take and everything and come up with some kind of convoluted pricing model, it just takes too much time. So we came up with standard pricing for everything. And we were one of the first ones to do that, yeah. A website, a basic website is $795. And if you want to sell stuff on it, it's with a cart and a catalog in the back end, it's $1,595. It's that simple. There can be some minor things if they want custom stuff done that can be added on to that, but that's rare, and usually it's only a couple $100. And then the monthly, which is another big area that many of our competitors, for what we do monthly, charge double or triple what we do.
True.
But we're like just $39.95 a month plus tax for everything that we do for you. That's all the support, all the hosting, and all the maintenance of the website. The maintenance is any content changes that you want to do. If you can't do them yourself, you send them to us and we'll do them for you.
That's right.
And there's no additional price.
That was really big for me, because one of the things I learned in studying internet marketing is, and we're going to get into more detail on this, is the notion that your website needs to be changing. It's not a static thing. It's not like a business card that you print up and you keep it for years and hand it out to everybody. Websites are not that way. And so I wanted to get into that a little bit. But before we do, you have a special program called the Gatekeeper. And what is that?
The Gatekeeper system is how we can get you through the Google products that we have access to and through the Google certification. Google.
Yeah,
The Google
products. Google sells products?
No. Google has a system called AdWords that anybody can do.
Okay.
But it is a beast. It's a huge thing that takes months to really figure out and years to become an expert at. And that's where we're certified in, is that. So we can, within an hour, we can literally get ads on the first page of a search engine, Google, and over 1,000 other search engines, and even millions of other websites in their content and stuff. We can get an ad listed there where people can click on that ad and actually go to your website.
And on that note, we're going to take a short break. And you want to give your website out?
Sure, it's www.I-MKTG.com.
And yours, Greg?
Mine is www.edgarallengroup.com, which is EDGARALLEN group, GROUP.com.
And on that note, we'll be right back after these very important messages.